All right. I think we are officially live here on our Monday morning coffee talk. And this is going to be another Monday mindset because, well, I believe that the mind really is a huge component to us continuing on this journey, no matter what we're trying to accomplish. Whether if you're like my 13-year-old daughter who's trying to accomplish her beach volleyball career, or if it's you trying to build your business and your brand and going through the ups and downs and the struggles and the mental hurdles and all of that stuff. These Monday mindsets to me are critical because I actually have to do them myself. And today, something that I'm going to be sharing with you is something that was taught to me at a very young age by my mother, who's no longer with us. She passed away when she was 50 years old, which was crazy. And that's also something I talked about in my book. She battled with alcoholism for years. And when she passed away of a heart attack, not necessarily the alcohol, but we all know that the trauma that does and prescription drugs and all of that stuff probably had something to do with it. But today, what we're going to be talking about is really how to slow things down and how to use this simple saying that I learned at a young age. And I learned it through my mother, through what she was battling and really facing every single day and every single hour to basically stay focused. And something that I think that we could all learn from, and something that I'd like to share with you guys here today, this morning on our Monday Mindset, so you can get out there and really crush the week, all right? And get that mind primed and ready to go into this upcoming week. Now, if you are going to be listening to this later on a replay or maybe on the podcast, this will apply to any day of the week. It doesn't have to be a Monday. We're just doing it on a Monday. All right. So before we get going here, we are going to keep this tight. It's going to be around 10, maybe 15 minutes. And we will then carry on with our day. Looks like we got Karen in the house. What's up, Karen? Good morning to you. Good job on the Facebook Live, too. I saw that you did another one. And yeah, I love it that you're just continuing to go out there and show up, which I think is awesome. Noel, what's up? Good morning to you. Diamond is here. What's up, Diamond? Scooby Life, what's up? Good morning. And yeah, if you guys are tuning in live or even after the fact, drop something in the comment. Let me know that you're here. What's up, Ruth? Good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend. Salma, good to see you. Really, really good to see you guys. My coffee talk peeps. So I appreciate you guys. Okay. So what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to talk about this. I'm going to kick it off so we have a cleaner start here for the podcast, because I've basically taken these coffee talks, these morning coffee talks for the Monday mindset, and I'm turning them into a Monday episode on the podcast. Short, sweet, something that people can just consume and kind of get them going for the week. It's funny because I've had people say, Scott, I just show up to your coffee talks. Yes, I love to learn, but I just love to be around your energy and kind of like your attitude. And I'm like, okay, well, show on up, on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and I'll be here. I'm here with my cup of coffee this morning. So here we go. Let's do it. All right, here we go. All right, guys, welcome back to another Monday Mindset. I am fired up because, today, it's a start of a new week. If you are tuning in to this Monday Mindset on a Monday, well, guess what? You are here at the right time. Now, if you're listening to this on Wednesday or Friday, then don't pay attention. This isn't going to work. No, I'm just kidding. It is going to work. It's going to work any day of the week. Doesn't really matter. I'm just choosing to do this on a Monday because this is our Monday Mindset. If you've noticed, I've been doing Monday Mindsets now for about 4 or 5 weeks. And I decided to do it after the response has been really, really good. And it's something that I think we all need, right? We're going we're going down this road in our journey, and the path changes at times, right? Or we want it to change. And sometimes that plays little tricks on our mind. And sometimes we get a little down. Sometimes we don't think we want to continue, and we start doubting ourselves and all this stuff. And you need a little bit of a lift. You need a little bit of a boost. That's what I want this Monday mindset sessions to be. All right. For the podcast, for the coffee talks, anywhere, YouTube, wherever this thing's being posted, I want just someone to get that little bit of pick me up, that little bit of lift, so we can go ahead and push through any obstacles. I'm going to share a story with you real quick, and then I'm going to get into the Monday mindset. And it's funny because a lot of what I talk about, it deals with life in general. It doesn't matter if you're 13 years old or 36 years old or 66 years old. Doesn't really matter. We're all battling these internal struggles, these things, right? So this past weekend, we were at another beach volleyball tournament with my daughter, Kayla, and great competition. Now, she's 13 years old. She's playing in the 16 division. And the reason why is because her partner is 15. So she said, you know what, I'll just do 16s. And knowing that the competition is going to be, these girls are older, they're taller, they're stronger, So, but it's good competition. But this last weekend, she showed up, and the first match they ended up losing. Not by much, but they ended up losing. The next match they went in, they won. The next match they went in, they won that one as well. And then the last one of their 4 sets, they ended up losing the first set, and then the second one, it was close. It was 23-20 or 21. Crazy. But in that first game of that set, they were serving it to Kayla, which they call it serve-receive, which is basically where you're receiving the ball. And they hit it to her a few times, and she wasn't handling it that well. And it's not that she can't do it. She totally can do it because she did it all the other games, and she's done it all the other tournaments. But for some reason, just had a little bit of a little mental thing there, right? And so they kept serving it to her, right? Until she could show them that she could then take care of it. But I could see immediately it was becoming an issue for Kayla. She was starting to let it get to herself. And who wouldn't that affect, right? You're sitting there, you're waiting for the ball to come over the net. It's probably coming to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, I hope that I can just get this one, in play. So this way here, we can kind of move on and I can get past this. And it wasn't until about 4 or 5 of those before she switched. But I saw it. I saw it immediately when it was happening. And I saw her take a deep breath. We talk about this, like, take a deep breath, get some new oxygen in there. Tell yourself, I got this next one. Come to me. Don't, try to shy away from it. And she did. She got it back, and then they stopped serving to her because now she was receiving them, and then they started to kind of go back and forth. And that last game was a great game. They just came up 2 points short. So anyway, it was a great match. But the point is mental stuff is big. And what I mean by that is if we're struggling, then we just start doubting ourselves, and then that doubt compounds on itself. And we have to be able to kind of stop, reset, and come back. And that's what these Monday mindsets are. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there because I think that it's a lot of times we forget how important our mindset stuff really is. And it's huge. All right. So what I'm going to be sharing with you guys here today, it's going to be short and sweet, but it's going to be powerful. This is a lesson that I learned from my mother, who is no longer with us. And if you guys have read my book, The Take Action Effect, I talk a lot about my mom, about growing up with someone that was battling alcoholism and prescription drugs, and she had abuse as a child, and so therapy and just all kinds of stuff. And I'm a little kid going through this stuff. But the one thing that she did, she was sober, by the way, for I believe it was 23 years when she passed away. Still battling though, every single day. And the way that she was able to get through those days, those hard times. And I remember this just like it was yesterday. And I could see it everywhere because she would have it written, she'd have it posted, and it was one day at a time. One day at a time. Now, how powerful is that? Now, as a kid, I didn't really think anything of it. I just seen it everywhere. And I heard her say it all the time. Hey, just take it one day at a time. Right. And really, when you're battling alcoholism, you're facing every single day as a challenge, as a, oh my gosh, I hope I don't drink today. I know that I would want to, but I know I shouldn't. Right. People think that just goes away. It doesn't. My mother would tell you, if she was still here today, even as long as you are sober, there's still that risk of a slip. And I've watched my mother go for, gosh, I think it was 2 or 3 years, and she had a slip. Boom, back to zero again. Then she's got to get back into it, but one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time. So what I want you to take away from this is, yes, it might seem like it's taken forever for a piece of content to get ranked, or it's taking forever for you to get your email list built, or it's taking forever before you can turn that into sales. I understand. I get it. And it can be frustrating at times. But what I will tell you is this: the things that we've talked about here on the podcast, the things that we've talked about on our coffee talks, anything that I've ever said, we have to stay focused. We have to get rid of the distractions. I did an episode last week, I believe it was on mental clutter. Get rid of the mental clutter and get focused, and then focus one day at a time. Okay? One day at a time. Don't worry about 6 months from now, because 6 months from now, a lot can happen. What is the one thing that you're going to accomplish today? And the one thing that I think that you and myself and everyone should really, really think about long and hard is we need to focus on our mind and our body. That needs to come first. Because without the mind, without the body, what are we going to do? Nothing. Doesn't matter. I was taking a walk this morning. I take my morning walk about 45 minutes all by myself. And I was just looking around and I'm like, Scott, think about the moment right now. You're in a moment. This moment is here right now. Enjoy this walk, right? Enjoy this day. Enjoy the privilege that you have to be able to do this right now, or the privilege to be able to be here with you right now, streaming this live, or if you're on the podcast, listening to it live, right? Like, think about that. That's a privilege. That's an amazing thing that I get to do. And then it's also amazing that you're able to tune in to someone that doesn't live near you, and you get to choose to be here, right? So these are things that we take for granted sometimes. And we try to look too far into the future. Now, I'm big on planning. I want to plan, but not too far out, because I know things will change. Things will change. So what I want you to take away from this Monday mindset, the big thing I want you to take is that one day at a time. Because let's be real. You don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. And I don't want to bring this Monday mindset down, but let's be real. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know what next month brings. We don't know what next year brings. But all we do know is we have today, and we can focus on one thing today. The one thing we can focus on is ourselves, our mind and our body. We can do that. We know we can. We have full control over that. Don't make excuses. Don't have time. I know I've done that too. Don't have time. We do have time if we fit it in, right? Which is a priority. Okay. And then from there, really sitting down, spending a little bit of time. And I've done this in the past on the podcast as well. Sit down and really, really, plan out what you're going to be working on. Like, what are the things? What are the blocks that you need to build? And then on those blocks, there's things inside of those blocks that we have to then work on in smaller chunks. There's your one day at a time. What's that one thing that you're going to do today? And get it done and feel good about getting that thing done. Okay? So I'm going to leave you with that. I want you to think about today. What is something that you can get done today? And I don't care if it's the smallest win. What is one thing that you can get done today? What is one thing you can get done tomorrow when you wake up and the next day? And really say that back to yourself. One day at a time, right? One day at a time. It's one step at a time. Same idea, one day at a time. The sun's going to come up today and the sun's going to go down tonight. We all know that. What are we going to choose to do during that time? Totally up to us. Okay. Now I get it. Life does get in the way. Life does throw us a curveball every now and then. That's where we got to take a deep breath. Just like I told my daughter, right? Take a deep breath, get some new fresh oxygen in there, clear head, and let's go again, right? Like, let's try this again. Okay. But we have to remind ourselves of that. And sometimes maybe you want to do what my mother did. And that is write little Post-it notes, right? She had little pieces of paper on the refrigerator, one day at a time, a little reminder. You know, you'd go into her bedroom, right on her nightstand, and she'd have a little piece of paper that was slid into her mirror on her little hutch there, one day at a time. And she'd have like they're like little round medals, and she would have one of them as a coaster sitting down, one day at a time. Just a reminder, okay? Oh, one last thing I do want to leave you with. When you start thinking about all the things you want to do, you can get overwhelmed. What I would love for you to do is think about, and I recommended this book. I'm not an affiliate or anything for it, but Tiny Habits. Tiny Habits is really, really good because it's like a micro habit. It's something that you can install in your day very, very easily. And I talked about the 50 push-ups that I do every single morning right after I brush my teeth. Like, I'm brushing my teeth every single day. So what can I do that when I do my teeth, it triggers me to do that next thing? For me, it's 50 push-ups on like I have a counter and I do them against the counter. I don't get down and do them too early for me. I might pull something. So I choose to just do them on the counter up against it. I'm still at a pretty good angle, but I get loose, I get warmed up, but I get 50 of those push-ups done every single morning. Okay. And that's because I've installed that Tiny Habit. So that could be something that you install into your one day at a time. Okay. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. All right. One day at a time, one step at a time. And if you have to, break it down 1 hour at a time. Okay. But really think about that. And when you are trying to, accomplish all of this stuff, we need to really break it down and we need to focus on one day at a time. All right. So guys, thanks for tuning in. This is your Monday Mindset. Get out there, have an awesome, amazing week, and take it one day at a time. I'll see you guys soon. All right, cut. All right, that's going to wrap that up. Guys, thank you so much. Yeah, Karen, sometimes I forget to be in the moment. Good reminder. Yeah, it's easy to do that. It's very, very easy. Thanks for sharing such a personal story, but what a good reminder for us all. You're an inspiration to me every day. Thanks for all you do. Karen, thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate that. So yeah, guys, this is going to wrap up our Monday Mindset. I do want to keep these short. I appreciate each and every one of you. And let's get out there and have an awesome week. Let's get out there and crush it. Right? One day at a time, just like I just said. All right. So guys, I'll see you back here Wednesday. Let me give you a heads up on Wednesday real quick. Wednesday, we're going to talk about the secret to building a loyal audience in your niche that will buy from you. That's coming on Wednesday. All right. So we'll be talking about that. And yeah, I'm excited about the week. Sun's out. It's going to be a great week. All right. So guys, I will see you guys on Wednesday and we'll see you guys soon. Have an awesome day. All right. Take care, guys.